Right. Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh and a very good morning everyone. So I'm so sorry because I supposed to use with another gadget iPad tetapi dia tak nak working pula this morning. Okay, by the way, hari ni kita akan go through about the mammals. So I'm sure that you guys dah already aware that apa itu mammals. Okay. The learning objective that we are going to learn today adalah mammals merupakan a class of animals, have certain traits that distinguish them from animals in other classes. Okay, seperti fish, reptiles dan juga amphibians, there are many types ataupun different types of mammal. So kita tahu ada a variety of them and how they've been divided ataupun distinguished from one to another. So as we can see that here, we already have a look on the agnaton, chondrichthyes dan juga osteichthyes for fish group pada hari on Sunday, and today we are going to have a look on the mammals. Okay, the class of mammals, which there are very small numbers of species, about 4,500 of them, ataupun 4,500. More successful than other groups, okay, except group insect, dan juga dia boleh explore almost available at all environment. Very diverse group, just not constrained by particular lifestyles like flights in birds, dan juga a diversity make it difficult for layperson to identify various mammal as being closely related. So itu adalah basically how some sort of introduction of the class animal. Okay, apa itu mammal? Adalah animals. Yes, but so are insects, reptiles, spiders, sponges dan juga slugs. Mammals have a backbone. Okay, please remember that mammals have a backbone. Yes, but so do fishes dan juga frogs, but they are not mammals. Walaupun they do have their backbones. Usually, as we are aware of, mammals are warm blood. Yes, but so are birds and tetapi birds are not mammals either. So that makes them different between mammals dan juga other groups of animals. Okay, so how we describe a mammal? Macam mana kita nak describe mereka? If it's female, they can produce milk to feed its young. Okay, which produced by modified sweat glands called mammary glands. And it's from this gland that the whole group takes its name, mammals. So di sinilah bagaimana how the mammals got the name. Okay, they do have hair. No other animal has hair in the same form as mammal. And all mammals have some hair at least at the beginning of their life. Okay, for example, like baby whales and dolphins are born with a moustache. Okay, sekejap. Saya rasa saya tak buka saya punya. Stop sharing. Oh, saya tak buka video. My video. Okay. Okay. Then, and at the same time, the lower jaw in mammals is a single bone on the other sides. In all other vertebrates, there are no more than one bone on each side of the jaw. So, itulah yang membezakan, and then that's how we describe a mammal. Okay. Then, we shall have a look on this one. Okay, the mammal, middle ear, and only the mammal middle ear contains 3 bones. They have the stapes ataupun stirrup. They do have incus, or we name it as a anvil and juga malleus ataupun hammer. Once these bones were part of the lower jaw, but during the early evolution of mammals, they change the jobs and become a part of our hearing apparatus instead. And also the mammals have their main artery leaving the hearts, curved to the left becoming the aortic arch. In birds, it curved to the right, and in all other vertebrates, there are more than one main artery leaving to the heart. And at the same time, mammals also have a diaphragm. Okay, kita ada diaphragm at the lower part of kita punya daripada kita punya thorax. Okay, as you can see that between our thorax that cover ataupun as a cage to protect our vital organs, you can see that a diaphragm ataupun you can feel that there's something in between them. So therefore, that one adalah untuk ataupun we call it as a sheet of muscle dan juga tendon that separate the body cavity into two sections. And at the same time, we do have hearts and lungs before and above, liver, kidney, stomach, intestine, etc. behind ataupun below. And no other animal has a diaphragm. Okay. What you have been through just now adalah, okay, kalau kita tengok, this is how it looks like. Okay, is there any question? Nurul Najah, let in. So far? Ada tak?
Ada, Doktor.
Tak ada. Okay. Ada lagi baru 39 orang. Mana lagi yang lain? I was wondering what time you guys pergi tidur. Okay. Right. So this one, as you can see that tadi yang we explained that how, why ataupun the characteristic of the mammals. They do have three area ataupun three section of the ear. Ada ear hole and then juga eardrum. This is the malleus dan juga this is the incus. And also at the same time we have the stapes. Inilah ada tiga komponen yang very important pada mammals. Okay, as you can see that here, this is how the early mammals, they do have the squamosal, the jaw joint, the jaw, dan juga the dentary, iaitu gigi-gigi yang akan melekat pada dia punya gum. Manakala non-mammalian amniote, usually they do have the dentary, the angular dekat bawah, the part of the jaw, articular, and also the jaw joint in order to make sure that the upper jaw dan juga lower jaw akan works together in order to make sure that you are, ataupun kita tidak akan loose in between. Okay. And not forgotten about the heart. This is how the animal's heart. Okay, the circulatory system. This is our aortic arch yang paling besar. Okay. And this is how the flow of the oxygen, sama ada oxygenated blood dan juga deoxygenated blood. Okay, this one adalah bagaimana the flow of oxygenated blood. Okay. And then they came in from the pulmonary vein. Okay, go through the heart valve and also to the left ventricles, and also at the same time this one adalah yang deoxygenated blood yang telah pun dipumping out throughout the body, and then we have to get rid of the blood. Okay, manakala yang oxygenated blood through the aorta, the biggest ataupun the big vessel of our blood vessel daripada from the jantung, from the heart, akan pump into the rest of the body of the mammal system. Okay. Other than that, kita tengok the secondary palate separating oral cavity dan juga nostril. This is what's the different ataupun makes them the difference between the palate dan juga the nostril. This is our nose. That's why sometimes kalau kita ada nose ataupun sinus problem, it usually will be connected ataupun related with the ear, nose dan juga the throat. So tiga tu adalah tiga perkara yang they are really related to each other. So therefore sometimes kalau you have a sinus problem, the specialist selalunya akan check your ear, your nose dan juga your throat at the same time, and to see that what is going on. Okay. And as you can see that this one of example from mammal, the cross section ataupun the anatomy of the mammal, and this is where the diaphragm is located. okay, is under ataupun below the lungs and heart, but upper ataupun above the liver, stomach, kidney dan juga intestine dan juga bladder. So for human is almost quite similar dia punya the location. Okay, other characteristic ataupun general characteristic of mammal. Okay, the possession of a placenta in females, which allows the mother system to nourish the growing young without being attacked by the mother's immune system. And this one applies kepada to all eutheria, which is always why they call it a placental mammal. Then human ataupun mammals have only 2 sets of teeth. Reptile and fish have many sets and they can replace lost teeth with new ones all their life. Tetapi tidak applies kepada mammals. Like human, kita ada during the birth ataupun we name it as a gigi susu, and then also at towards the end bila semua dah jatuh dah luruh, we have our permanent gigi, and which later kalau you rosak your gigi tu selalunya tak akan tumbuh kembali, and then you have to find another solution, is either menggunakan gigi palsu. The third one adalah mammals are heterodontic, meaning that their teeth are different shapes except those with no teeth at all. So kita dapat tahu that we have our different types of teeth. Ada how many types of teeth that human have? Contoh kita kata ada gigi taring, ada gigi geraham, so on and so forth. Whilst for reptiles dan juga fish have teeth, they are basically the same. Okay, though they can vary in size throughout the mouth. Hang on, ada lagi kawan anda. Baru join ya. Sorry. Okay. The buccal cavity ataupun kita punya mouth has a false palate as a roof ataupun secondary palate, meaning that the nostril do not lead directly into the mouth. Okay, sorry for the spelling error. Effectively, this means that if your mouth is full of food, you can still breathe, but a reptile has 2 breath around its food. So it's slightly different between mammals and it's already been created that way. Kalau tak nanti at the same time, how are you going to breathe and also you nak chew your food. Okay, the body is maintained at a constant temperature, meaning mammals are endothermic. So kita punya body temperature. What is our body temperature? Normal. Anyone?
7.
Berapa?
37.
37. If more than that or if lower than that, meaning that you are not in a good condition. Okay. So shall we move to this one? Kita tengok the era, how this is what the scientists taught previously from the Hadean, Archean, Pterozoic, Paleozoic, Mesozoic dan juga Cenozoic. So this is how dia punya what they talk about the early life. Okay. The extinction of dinosaurs about 138 million years ago during Mesozoic punya period. Okay, early evolution of mammals, which mammals evolved from synapsids in the late Triassic period, di mana the earliest synapsids radiated into diverse herbivores dan juga carnivores. So kita namakan kepada zaman Pelycosaurus. So this is how it looks like for the anatomy ataupun rangka the earliest ataupun early evolution of the mammals. Orbit this one adalah untuk for the kita punya eyes to be located. Okay, the early evolution of mammal, as you can see that here, one group of carnivores, Pelycosaurus, led to the therapsids. Di mana the only synapsids group to survive into the Mesozoic and limbs positioned under the body. Okay, manakala cynodonts were a group of therapsids reptiles that radiated in the Mesozoic. So as you can see that bagaimana, how the evolution, this is what they taught previously. From the prehistory, the tetrapods, okay, ada amphibians, and then followed by reptilomorphods, sauropods, synapsids, Pelycosaurus, therapsids, dan juga towards the end, kita ada the evolution of the mammals. Okay, kita tengok the lineage of early evolution of mammals. Dia adalah originated from this particular Paleozoic ataupun Paleozoic punya Permian ataupun time, followed by Triassic, iaitu era Mesozoic. Kita ada 3, Triassic, Jurassic dan juga Cretaceous. And towards the end, Tertiary to present Cenozoic, where the mammal of the di mana early evolution of the mammal berlaku di zaman Cenozoic. Okay. Birds, crocodile, turtles, snake, lizards, amphibians, and most fish, the earliest synapsids, had a bone in the back of the skull on either side called the quadrate that made the connection with the lower jaw via a bone called the articula. Tadi kita dah tengok bagaimana the anatomy of the head yang show that about the articula. Tetapi mammals, including humans, use 2 different bones called the squamosa dan juga dentary to make this connection. And kalau kita tengok, how did this new jawbone configuration evolve? So, I hope that it works. Cannot find. Sorry, tak boleh nak buka. Ada lagi yang baru nak let in. Mana lagi kawan-kawan awak tu? Okay, for reasons we don't fully understand several lineage of synapsids. Okay, kita tengok tadi adalah bagaimana the jaw ataupun the skulls of the synapsids yang the earliest evolution of the mammals. Di mana dia punya including the one that will eventually give rise to the mammal begin to evolve change in the jaw joint. So kita punya jaw ni ada some sort of a joint to make sure that between the upper jaw dan juga lower jaw they are connected to each other. So therefore we are going to use kita punya jaw untuk makan dan minum. Right. Okay. Here adalah skull of Proboscis and early synapsids. So di sini ada squamosa, quadrate, articulate ataupun articular, and this one adalah for dentary. So this is how it looks like for the skull untuk early synapsids. Okay, this one adalah is all about the skull. Okay, the unusual pair condition did not last long though, so the quadrate dan juga articular lost their function in jaw articulation and even their position in the jaws as they evolve. And then they become increasingly smaller and eventually migrated into the ear region where they become the hammer dan juga anvil of the ear. This is how the process of early evolution of the mammal. Then at the same time, over the time, the synapsids quadrate articulate ataupun articular jaw joint which the rest of the tetrapods possesses was replaced by a dentary squamosa joint which all living animals ataupun mammal possess. And while for the quadrate dan juga articulate atau articular migrated shrank and become part of the complex of middle ear bone. So dia start to masuk ke dalam becoming an ear punya complex. So this is what the talk about the the evolution of the early mammals. Okay then, here goes, we can see that here adalah bagaimana the evolution of the jaw joint in synapsids. Starting from Trinazodon, okay, sampailah kepada opossum. Okay, tahu opossum? Siapa tahu cerita Over the Hedge? So, RJ adalah one ataupun one example of the opossum. Sorry, it's not RJ. I think I can't remember the other character. So the opossum, yeah, the two brothers dan juga family itu kan, yang that one adalah the opossum. Ataupun dalam Ice Age pun ada the opossum. Di mana abbreviation used adalah articular, D for dentary, Q for quadrate dan juga S adalah for squamosal. So this is how the evolution from Trinazodon sehinggalah kepada opossum untuk mammal. Okay, again, scientists still not understand why these changes happen. Some evidence suggests that the change in the quadrate articular complex improve hearing system. But other evidence also suggests that these changes were a byproduct of early mammals increasing the brain size. These ideas are not mutually exclusive, of course, dan juga more research is needed in this particular field. Dan juga incorporation of the dentary dan juga squamosal bones into the jaw joint. Originally alongside the quadrate dan juga articular eventually allow the later two bones to acquire a completely different function, which later leave the jaw articulation all together. So it's quite complex, and still that scientists still looking why this evolution happened and then how this thing happen ataupun the changes happen. Okay. Manakala untuk evolution of the middle ear of mammal, okay, evolved from the jaw bones of the ancestor, which were similar to reptiles' jaws. Reptile jaws have many bones in them that are missing in an animal. Okay, manakala humans and all mammals have only one jaw, bone that hold the teeth, while reptiles' jaws have this bone plus 5 or more other bones behind it. So some of these missing bones now part of our middle ear. The advantages of the middle ear, kita cannot feel the vibration at the same time eating, moving ataupun doing anything else. So those who had experienced any vibration during makan ataupun moving dan sebagainya, you should go and seek a doctor for any medical checkup. Untuk reptiles, amphibians and birds share this advantage as they also have a middle ear that allows them to hear at the same time as moving. Okay, sama juga macam kita. Bila kita moving, kita masih boleh mendengar. Tetapi kalau sometimes if those who are perasan, those yang wearing spectacle, kalau you buang your glasses, selalunya is very difficult ataupun is some sort of like ada disturbance dari segi you punya pendengaran. Mungkin they are related to each other. Sebab the mata kita tak berapa nampak. Okay, those yang wearing a glass, bila cuba try buka, dan selalunya kita tak akan berapa fokus. Especially you can try at your room ataupun in your room with your friends and see how it goes. However, the mammal middle ear has another advantage. Okay, di mana evolution tu link kepada the evolution of the mammal jawbone. Whilst for the ancestry of mammal, the jaw muscle which control how strongly an animal can bite or chew evolved so that they were attached directly to the bone that holds the teeth. So, you guys masih lagi still young, and then mesti for sure that you guys masih lagi boleh makan benda-benda yang keras dan sebagainya, and you are able to chew or even to bite the solid food yang keras. But if those ataupun if the humans more than 70 or 80 years old, but still depends kepada how good dia punya teeth being taken care of throughout dia punya life. So but also at the same time kena bear in mind that maybe their gum is not really in a good health anymore. So normally they are very difficult for them untuk makan ataupun chew food yang keras-keras. And Juga other bones in the jaw were no longer needed to support the biting muscle. They could evolve into the middle ear bones. This is how the evolution of the middle ear of the mammals. Okay. And kalau kita tengok, this is how it goes to the summary for the mammals evolution. Okay. The important structural changes from reptiles to mammals. The jaws was remodeled during the evolution of mammal from non-mammalian synapsics, di mana two of the bones that formerly made up the jaws were incorporated into the mammalian middle ear, limbs from lateral to ventral, higher center of gravity, di mana less stability, require greater development of cerebellum. And I'm sure that you guys still remember that what is cerebellum, muscular coordination center in the brain. So as you can see that this is how the starting ataupun the beginning of the evolution of the mammalian daripada pelycosaurs. Okay, B adalah primitive cynodon, derived cynodon, and finally the mammals. This is we are looking ataupun tengok in terms of the skull punya evolution. Okay, again, another generalized phylogenetic tree of synapses ataupun mammals. It started with order Pelycosaurus, and then we have order Therapsida, and at the same time we have the class Mammalia, which been divided into two, iaitu Prototheria untuk monotremata dan juga Subclusteria, which goes to ataupun been another divided into two groups, iaitu Metatheria dan juga Eutheria. So what we can see here adalah bagaimana this is what they talk about the evolution of the mammal from the previous Pelycosauria. Okay, untuk subclass Prototheria, so kita tengok tadi, this one, okay, Prototheria, what are they? Okay, as you can see that here, what are these? Monotremes merupakan group monotreme, small group of egg-laying mammals. They are so different from other groups of mammals. So this is a platypus. Okay, manakala untuk subclusteria tadi, infraclass Metatheria iaitu marsupial yang mempunyai pouch mammals. Okay, I'm sure that you guys dah tahu iaitu pouch mammal. And this is the group of marsupial mammal. They do have the pouch. The Tasmanian devil pun also have the pouch. Infraclass Eutheria iaitu placental mammal. This is the Eutherian, manakala this is a marsupial mammals. Okay, see the difference between these two groups. Okay. Any question? 37, Muhammad Zahidi. Any questions so far?